this land will be paved in gold. And only the strong will survive. There will be darkness, as the wicked beasts will awaken the fight from within. And new heroes will rise, as the hunt for power lies in the gold. This November, the warrior will ask, if not now, when?
Welcome everyone to AEW Dark Elevation. Ian Riccaboni, Paul White in the house in the city of brotherly love.
The following contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Chicago, Illinois, Skye Blue.
You know, Ian, when I look at Skye Blue walk to the ring with that tongue hanging out, she reminds me of another Chicago All-Star, Michael Jordan.
That's a lofty comparison, but you know what? Skye Blue has really been doing big things here on AEW Dark Elevation.
Her opponent already in the ring, Trish Adora.
Trish Adora, one serious competitor, no stranger to AEW.
Absolutely, served 8 years in the U.S. Army. Former top contender for the Ring of Honor World Women's Championship.
That's where I've seen her before.
Ooh.
Well, not much for sportsmanship, I guess. Shake the hand, take an arm bar, arm toss.
And
nice little headlock control with Skye Blue. You know, that's so important. Ian is trying to control that tempo early on.
And if you can keep Trish Adora grounded, you have a good shot because she has those powerful legs, Paul.
Powerful legs, powerful body, and smart enough. Whoa, nice.
Two.
What Skye Blue is doing is she's trying to wear her opponent down. The more you've got to fight to breathe, the more you got to fight to exert to get that Skye Blue body weight off of you. You're expending energy.
And Trish, though, fast, strong, explosive, coming off a UK tour where she was very successful.
I bet. Yeah, I wasn't going to think that Skye Blue would win the tackle contest on that shoulder tackle.
Wheelbarrow here. This is what Skye Blue's got to do. That agility, that speed. Nice wrist lock takes her over.
It's funny, we see Skye Blue smiling now, but I've seen her in the past. When she gets fired up, she's got a temper.
Ooh.
Shifts gears pretty quick.
And Trish Adora with the wrist lock driving that shoulder down. Paul, what does that do to Skye Blue? She had the momentum early in the match.
Well, it's just tough because Trish has such a power advantage and a size advantage. And when she uses her weight, right now she's applying the hold right here where she's stretching Skye Blue's shoulder, using all that weight. That comes into play in what Skye Blue can do for offense, too. You know, those shoulders get sore, those muscles get impinged, your strikes become weaker. You know, this is smart on Trish Adora's part.
Ooh, looking to roll her up to 1, 2. Referee Paul Turner in perfect position there.
For once in his life.
Wow, a lot of debate lately around Paul Turner.
I don't trust referees, although Paul Turner is a good guy and he books my air travel, so I should take it easy on him.
Big boot by Skye Blue. And look at that, Olay, big knee.
That's smart on Skye Blue's part. Shoulders are sore, use the knees, use the feet.
And they've been looking to go to the midsection to slow the wind down, as you talked about earlier. Now going to the face, has the full Nelson.
Well, if you can't breathe, you can't fight, Ian. As I say here, it's general obvious because I'm bigger than Captain Obvious.
Well, look at this, the strength of Adora. 1, 2, the bridge, almost gets the 3.
That looked like a bear hug that turned into the slowest German suplex pin ever. That was awesome. Just pure power.
And it's power versus quickness here as Skye Blue delivers that kick.
Well, Skye Blue's got quick feet. She's very, wow, devastating. That was right on the face.
2, and the Skye Fall gets 3.
Yeah, that's great how Skye Blue slid into that.
The winner of this match, Skye Blue.
And that's that new finishing move, the Skye Fall. We've seen it a couple of weeks in a row now. Skye Blue getting some momentum here, Paul.
Absolutely, because this is lights out. She actually uses Trish Adora's size and weight against her. Because if Skye Blue did that pivot maneuver, all of Trish Adora's own weight was driving her own face into the mat.
Great win here for Skye Blue in our opening contest of AEW Dark Elevation here in Philadelphia.
AEW Heels is a female-forward fan club of like-minded individuals who just simply love pro wrestling.
We have virtual meets, so we're able to get on a Zoom call and we have chats.
At pay-per-views, we end up having in-person meetups where everyone gets to see each other face-to-face.
We catch up, we mingle. It's a great way of just becoming friends and having a little party.
I personally have about 5 or 6 heel members that have grown to be close friends of mine. I love these women.
Heels is really just great at creating a space where you can be authentically you with people who care and share your love of wrestling.
The first
pay-per-view last year I came to like on my own, and then this is kind of where I met everybody, and now we've come into pay-per-views together because we've formed such a special friendship.
All these ladies have totally brought me out of my shell, and I talk to people, and I go up to people I never would have said hi to before.
You have a home here. This is a very safe place for anyone.
I'm a breast cancer survivor, and while I was going through my treatment, I had the support of the talent. The Heels community kept cheering me on, building me up. Without the Heels community, I don't know if I would have made it and banged that gong back in May. Hanging out with all these amazing women who are fans and from the industry, what's not to love?
I think Heels is one of those things where once you're in it, you understand how absolutely important it is. And I've just seen so many people gain happiness from being a member of Heels.
With the Heels community, tons of women are finding themselves to be in a place where they have comfort, they have support, they have freedom, and they can just be themselves and enjoy wrestling.
AEW Heels means community.
Support, blessings.
Inspiration, fun, laughter, and wrestling. AEW Heels empowers women for the love of wrestling.
It's the Wrestling Machine versus The Machine. Tracy Williams, Hot Sauce, takes on Brian Cage. Clash of styles here in this match, Paul. We're seeing a former Ring of Honor World Television Champion against a monster, a powerhouse.
The following contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Prince Nana from Chico, California, weighing 272 pounds, the Machine, Brian Cage.
And that's what Brian Cage is a machine. This guy's got the experience. He's been around the world. He's been a champion in different companies. He's got so much strength and so much athleticism.
His opponent already in the ring, Hot Sauce, Tracy Williams.
But don't let the appearance of Tracy Williams fool you, Paul, because...
No, not at all. Not at all.
Is the ultimate don't judge a book by his cover. He's like a surgeon with his precision and technical wrestling in there. So
he's going to need to be with Brian Cage because Brian Cage will just rip his arm off and eat it, especially if he's low on protein.
Looking for a waist lock here into the full Nelson. And Tracy moves quickly into the cravat there, and that's one of his hallmarks.
That's smart. Try to control that neck, but with the size of Brian Cage's traps, I don't know.
And Paul, you are a man, obviously a bigger stature. What would you do in a match against a technically proficient wrestler like Tracy Williams?
Like Tracy Williams, definitely try to use my size. Wouldn't give him a lot of room to strike me, and I try to ground him right away. Like me, right off the bat, first thing I did was pick him up and try to body slam him.
Oh, look at that pump handle up and over. Williams able to get out of it, blocks the kick, ducks the clothesline. Williams side headlock takeover, having some success here. Great exchange. Wow. Sometimes we forget Brian Cage can.
Well, Brian Cage can wrestle, and that's a big difference between Brian Cage and myself. I'm a giant, I'm a monster. I'm not much of a technical wrestler by any means. Brian can actually wrestle, can actually go. So I can see where he likes to mix it up a little bit, have a little fun. If it doesn't work out in the beginning, he's always got that power to rely on. It's nice to be multifaceted like that.
Oh, big boot. Brian Cage shoulder tackle. We see Prince Nana cheering on Brian Cage on the outside. Prince Nana, the leader of the embassy, which we saw return at Death Before Dishonor back in July. As a hip toss, no, counter, back elbow. And speaking of dates, Paul, there's a big one coming up on Wednesday. The return, the big anniversary of where Dynamite began, Washington, D.C. That's this Wednesday night, TBS, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Ooh. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I'll be there, too. It's going to be a great night. Ooh, Brian Cage.
That's that flexibility. Again, you look at the size of Brian Cage's quads. What you fail to understand is how flexible this guy is. This is a guy that spends a lot of time stretching, lifting, working on his, and there's the power. There's the power. That's just lower back deadlift strength right there. This guy's probably got a 650, 700-pound deadlift all day long.
It was amazing. As you said the word lifting, he just, with almost what appeared to be very little effort, 200 pounds up in the air.
I mean, yeah, just like, that's no big deal. It's like me picking up a soft drink.
Ooh.
Those vicious forearms right across the chin. especially with those big, meaty forearms of Brian Cage. If you ever shook hands with Brian Cage, it's like shaking hands with a brick.
And Cage has Williams up. Williams in trouble now. And
Doing
just
a few curls.
Curling him. Ooh.
Yeah. Brian just makes it look effortless. I mean, right now, Brian is, lack of a better term, he's playing with his food. He's enjoying himself. And he's got time in the business. He's earned it, and he likes it. So there you go.
And charging in Williams, who's recently returned from a big-time injury. And it's Cage, though. Back elbow. And this might not have been the opponent for Williams to step back into the ring with, or maybe it is. Williams still going to prove us wrong here.
He's trying to strike hard. It's just Brian Cage is so solid and so athletic.
And Williams, whose game plan was working so well early on in the match, now is running into a almost literal brick wall.
Oh, Tracy's had some excellent strikes, some excellent counters. The only problem is he's just running into a different type of human being.
And dropping down, again, lowering those hips, preventing that suplex.
That's the experience. Wow!
Oh!
Good for Tracy Williams. He dug in deep, locked that hip, and up he went. I'm sure Brian Cage was surprised about that on the way over. It looked like his eyes were big as Model T headlights. And for those that don't know, Model T was the first car.
Williams charging in. Oh! Knife edge chop delivers. Williams back in the driver's seat here. What a return this would be for Tracy Williams.
This would be a huge victory, especially coming off an injury like that. This would really jack your confidence up.
Wow, back elbow.
Nice, solid back elbow.
Ooh.
There's that athletic ability of Brian Cage. Just rung Tracy's bell right there.
How do you even game plan for a man like Cage?
You got to study him, and you got to cut him off quick. With Brian Cage, you need to cut his wind off. You need to get him in some kind of rear choke, somewhere where you can make those muscles starve for oxygen.
Oh, look at that. Looking front face lock. Williams delivers a DDT up on the top turnbuckle.
That's very innovative.
2, stacks him up, holds onto the ankle. Step over, STF.
Wow, so this is smart right now. Right now, Brian Cage is in a lot of trouble. All that strength and power right now is working against Brian Cage. Those muscles are starving for air right now. Look how purple Brian Cage's head's getting. Look at the power. Is he powering up out of that?
Wow.
That's impressive.
Ooh, Williams now on the shoulders of Cage. Oh! Planting Williams down. And Nana, Prince Nana wiping his hands. As, ooh, he wants to flatline the heartbeat there of Williams.
Oh, thank God. I thought he was signing DMD for a second.
And Cage, drill claw.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. Good fight, Tracy Williams, though.
Cover 2, got him.
The winner of this match, Brian Cage.
But this is a good example, Ian. When you look at an athlete like Brian Cage, yes, it's okay to be that big and strong and powerful, but the one advantage that Brian Cage has over a lot of athletes like that is he has tremendous cardio conditioning. And that cardio conditioning is what made the difference here at the end.
Huge win against the former Ring of Honor World Television Champion, who is on the rebound from injury. A great effort by Williams, which makes the victory from Cage even that more impressive. Brian Cage, your victor here tonight in Philadelphia.
AEW is my house.
Wednesday on TBS. Celebrate the 3-year anniversary with an extended Dynamite. Featuring Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal.
Daddy had to put you on timeout, didn't he?
MJF returns to the ring to face Wheeler Yuta.
You want to know what I think would be real entertaining?
And Daniel Garcia joins Bryan Danielson to take on teammates Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho.
I'm going to have to take you out.
AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, live at 8 on TBS.
Coming up next, it's David versus Goliath as Lance Archer takes on Cheeseburger.
Uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh's right-o.
Paul, do you like monsters?
I love this monster.
The following contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Hearn, Texas, weighing 273 pounds, the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer.
That is one big, impressive Texan right there. Athletic, powerful, and mean as a Texas rattlesnake.
Ooh, and he's going right face-to-face with his opponent.
That's just pure intimidation. Lance Archer doesn't care if the crowd loves Cheeseburger.
And his opponent already in the ring, Cheeseburger.
The crowd exploding for Burger. Burger, former Ring of Honor stalwart, competed in the Tokyo Dome on 2 occasions, Madison Square Garden. This man's one of the most popular competitors, Paul, in the history of Ring of Honor, but a little outsized here, I'd say.
Well, I don't think he's popular with whoever's doing the booking here in AEW. They're just, he's in the ring with a murder hawk. I mean, look at that guy's face. There's no sympathy in Lance Archer. Lance Archer doesn't care.
But neither does Cheeseburger. You're going to see a big heart in a small package here.
Oh, absolutely. That's Cheeseburger in a nutshell. But there's the power of Lance Archer. He just walked up to the second rope with Cheeseburger on his back. I mean, don't get me wrong. Throughout my career, I've used size to my advantage, but come on.
Look at the sticking move, Cheeseburger. Ooh.
Well, he was moving. He wasn't doing any sticking. That stick didn't stick right there. Just better hope he doesn't get stuck.
Oh!
And there you go. Cheeseburger is now a taco salad.
And we may need a spatula for Cheeseburger here tonight.
Absolutely. Let's hope there's not a lot of ketchup.
Oh, my goodness. Ooh! And the patty is being ground here.
That's the thing about Lance Archer. He's got such poise and control in the ring. He's mean, he's vicious. He knows he's stronger than his opponent. He's going to impose his will.
Wow!
Look at that suplex. That slingshotted Cheeseburger almost out of the ring on that suplex. That's just power. I love it.
And Lance Archer, former IWGP United States champion in New Japan, has made his mark here in AEW, top contender.
That just means that Lance Archer works very stiff. And if you know wrestling terms, you know what that means.
You hear the crowd, though. They're rallying behind Burger here.
How could you not root for Cheeseburger? He's awesome. But, that's that Japanese dojo style. You've seen John Moxley do it.
Ooh.
All these guys that do a lot of work in Japan, they love trading shots like that. Does it make sense to give your opponent a free shot in the fight game? No. But is it ego and intimidation? Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
And look at the speed. Almost 300 pounds, nearly 7 feet tall.
At this rate, Cheeseburger's going to be a smash burger. Good gracious. You see the speed at which Lance Archer's hitting those corner turnbuckles? You gotta understand, this guy is 6'7", close to 300 pounds. I mean, this guy is literally a monster, and he's moving that fast. He moves faster than a lot of your NFL line.
And this could be it here. And Burger's looking at, he's setting up for the blackout, but it's Burger trying to fight out of it, fighting for his life at this point.
He is fighting for his life. He's trying to, that's why they love Cheeseburger. He's all heart. He's got a great intestinal fortitude, to steal a line from JR.
Looking for the show tape. Give it to him by Jushin Liger. It's countered. And it's Archer. Blackout. Cover, Paul, and it is academic.
The winner of this match, Lance Archer.
Now you notice in that covering position, Lance hooked an ankle. There's no weight on Cheeseburger's shoulders, nor did there need to be. Cheeseburger is out for the count.
Well, Burger giving it his all, but Lance Archer victorious here as we take a look at the replay. The blackout, that was all she wrote.
So impressive.
Could have been a 5 count or a 10 count. Lance Archer, your victor here in our second match on AEW Dark Elevation. A huge women's contest comes up next as Abadon takes on Abby Jane.
Oh man, this is creepy, Ian.
Just got a little.
This is one of the most iconic ring entrances we have in AEW. This is so unique, and how apropos for this time of year.
The following contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from the Black Hills, Abadon.
That is so scary. That is scary. Strong, powerful, intense, and just scares the bejesus out of me every time she comes down the ramp.
Sarah, if Zach's watching, you might want to avert his eyes right now.
Yeah, I would just, like throw my wallet and try to hobble the other way.
Her opponent already in the ring, Abby Jane.
Well, there's a smile now, Paul, but...
There's a smile, but Abby Jane looks like the sweetheart victim in the horror movies right now. Like, look at that look on Abadon. Look at that look. You talk about scary. Love it.
Well, Abby Jane from my neck of the woods, from the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. And
you might want to do her a favor and throw her a life raft in, because she's in deep water. I mean, I'm not going down there. You can go down there.
No, thank you. Abby Jane getting out of the way, though. Charging in, big boot.
Good job for Abby Jane. She, again, doesn't know what she's dealing with. Nice spinning forearm, but then, you know, Abadon's not really alive. That is so intimidating.
Wait,
look at that back mule kick by Abadon. That flexibility. I'm telling you, Abadon's a player. I've been saying this since the first time I've seen Abadon. Abadon is a player.
On a major winning streak in AEW, among the top contenders for the AEW Interim World Women's Championship.
The thing I appreciate about Abadon is her style is she's unique. She's aggressive. Wow.
Cover 2. The Black Dahlia gets 3.
Black Dahlia gets
winner
it done.
Winner of this match, Abadon.
Going back to my point about Abadon, I love her character so much because she embraces it. That's really her. What you see is what you get. And you've got a future AEW Women's Champion there.
Brian Cage, where you been, man? Where you at? Are you even with AEW anymore? These are the questions that I get week after week after week. And where I've been is beating ass in ROH and all over the world for that matter, creating an undefeated streak, waiting for the perfect opportunity to return to AEW. And it just so happens, this Wednesday is the 3-year anniversary of AEW Dynamite. And during those 3 years, you're looking at one of the most dominant forces that show's ever seen. And you know, it's not just me waiting, the fans have been waiting for the return of the machine, because you know the answer to the question, who better than Brian Cage? Is nobody. So not who better, but what better date than the 3-year anniversary of Dynamite for the machine to make his return for one of the biggest, the best, the most jacked AEW stars we've ever had and ever will have to return and become the champion he's destined to be. TNT Championship Open Challenge. That's right, Wardlow. I'm talking to you. You think you're special now, huh? Oh, you think you're some star? You think you're some big stud? Why? Because you powerbombed some bums? Because you're beating some sloppy Joes? Let's get real. That's no big deal. That's not special. I can do that any day of the week, twice on Sunday. You've been taking the path of least resistance when the real competition is right here. Standing in front of you, calling your ass out. Man versus Machine, 3-year anniversary on AEW Dynamite.
Ring of Honor World Six-Man titles on the line. Dalton Castle and the boys defend against Primal Fear. Championship action here on AEW Dark Elevation. A mainstay of the Ring of Honor Six-Man division. Coming here to AEW.
Primal Fear, wow.
The following contest set for one fall is for the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Championships. Introducing their challengers at a combined weight of 545 pounds, Primal Fear.
I gotta be honest with you, Ian, I'm not real familiar with Primal Fear. This is my first time watching them compete. But I gotta tell you, their presence coming down the ring, they got that whole post-apocalyptic vibe. No care for tomorrow. I'm intrigued to see what's up.
This 3-man unit, Paul, they're one of the few units on the independent scene in Ring of Honor that functions as a 6-man team. Hodder is the blonde man with the bun there on your right. You see Matthew Omen and Soriano, the man with the hat. They are a polished unit who have contended for the championships before, and it would not surprise me if we see the titles change hands here tonight.
Wow.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 518 pounds, they are the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, the Boys and Dalton Castle.
You know, I got to watch Dante Castle in that Golden Ticket Battle Royal. And I love how he used the boys. They had a real interesting situation where they kept his feet from hitting the floor by carrying him like a little princess around the corner. Really creative thinking. I enjoyed it.
Well, that's what Dalton Castle is a mastermind of. Former Ring of Honor World Champion.
Oh, okay.
2 times over Six-Man Champions with the boys. Now, he's kind of like the brains of the operations, as you'll see.
Yeah, Jericho made a statement. He's got a kind of that genius vibe to him a little bit.
Certainly does. And it's going to be interesting because you almost have to cut the head off the snake when you face Dalton Castle and the boys. Whereas Primal Fear, I feel like they have a shot tonight because they function as a unit.
I get it. So there's no really a head. They function like a hydra.
Exactly.
See there?
Exactly.
I need to get me a cape like that. I like that cape.
You could pull it off. I couldn't.
I don't know if I can pull off a cape. Maybe Captain Insano can pull off a cape. We'll see.
Woo!
Oh, referee blew the spot. See, that zebra's always getting in the way. I'm telling you. The only good zebra is a fired zebra.
We're taking a look at Dalton Castle as he's being disrobed ahead of this championship
you know what?
match.
If it works, I mean, you know, believe me, I wanted somebody to take my boots off after many a match. Then again, some of my matches I never should have put my boots on to start with.
Calling for the bell here in this championship contest. We're going to start things off with Dalton Castle and Soriano. Primal Fear formed. They gave up their day jobs as dishwashers in Atlantic City, pushed in all their chips, trained to become professional wrestlers. Oh, and that's why that bond is so tight.
Yeah, they struggled together. They grew up together. They hunt as a unit. Just like any SEAL team or any other team that has to function. The more they live together, train together, and vibe together, they're going to be better. So I'm really interested to see this action get going. Now, this in the corner, this is just priceless. You know, I think I've done 6-man tag teams wrong. I need to get a couple guys to, like, fan some air on me. Or carry an oxygen tank, one of the two.
Well, Dalton Castle picks the ankle, former National Beach Wrestling Champion, alternate on the U.S. national teams as an amateur.
National Beach Wrestling Champion?
Yes, sir, and that is a verifiable fact.
Wow.
As you see the waist lock here, he will use these amateur moves. There's a lot of pizzazz, but he is, at his core, he is an amateur wrestler.
Yeah, I get that right off the bat. His technical amateur background is he relies on that real heavily. I'm seeing that early on.
We take a look now as the boys shooting Dalton into the corner. Soriano in trouble as the boys, Brandon on the left, Brent on the right. Ooh!
Well, right now, the champions are working pretty well together.
Cover 2. Stephon Smith with the 2 count there. Ooh.
It's so frustrating. You know, people get frustrated with a 2 count, but a 2 count's good because enough 2 counts will lead to a 3 count. And if you think about it, it makes sense. The more energy your opponent has to expend to kick out of a pinning combination, the more energy they waste.
Tag from Hodder to Omen as boy Brent now gets kicked to the midsection. And Paul, do you get frustrated at all if you're the victim of 2-on-1s in these 6-man matches?
Believe me, you get frustrated. In my entire career, it's always been like 2-on-1, 3-on-1, or 50-on-1, it seems like at some points. But that's part of the game. Usually you try to rely on a competent referee. Wow! Talk about teamwork.
Smashing the head of Brent. Dalton Castle in disbelief.
Yeah, that might mess up his hairdo. I'd be mad if I had that much nice hair.
Soriano charging in. I'm starting to lose mine myself.
Just give up. Let it go. Go bald, brother. Don't try to embrace it.
Back elbow. And look at, I want to call it something from Primal Fear. They're cutting off the ring here, trying to keep the champs in their corner, but it doesn't work as the tag is made.
Always tag team wrestling. Isolate your opponent in your corner. Cut the ring in half. It's tag wrestling 101.
Look at that. Dropping the hips.
Nice amateur strength, movement, power.
And a T-bone up and over. Exploder there.
I haven't seen that T-bone exploder done in a while. He does it really well.
And Dalton catches the leg. Plants Soriano with a suplex there.
Nice throws. I mean, you're right. His amateur background, he does really well with.
I like this part, Paul. This is like Oprah because Dalton comes out and then look, he's gonna give Omen a boy, and then Brandon comes in and he's gonna give Soriano a boy. And then
Ian, this is nothing like Oprah.
Well, you get a boy, and then you get a boy, and you get a boy.
They get cars. They don't get boys.
Whoa! And Omen taken out. And Brent on Soriano.
You know, I need to talk to the boys about their employment contract. I hope they're getting equally compensated for this kind of abuse.
And the champs are on a roll here in the city of brotherly love.
Well, that's true. If they're champs, their formula's working.
And a 2-for-1 on Soriano.
That's pretty smart or pretty stupid, one of the two. But as long as your teammates are holding up and it works.
Uh-oh, and Soriano caught. Dalton Castle, bang, rang. Plants him down. Should be it. 2, and the champs retain.
The winners of this match, and still the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, the Boys and Dalton Castle.
You know, I gotta tell you, Ian, I'm a fan of Dalton Castle and the Boys. I like it. It's unique, and it works.
As we take a look at the replay, it's hard not to be a fan. This is the Bangarang. Dalton Castle's finishing move has won him championships, including the very six-man titles they won at Death Before Dishonor. And that was all they needed.
There's some high-quality wrestling maneuvers done there. Good for the champions.
Dalton Castle and the Boys retain the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Champs. Intergender tag team action coming your way. LSG and Gia Scott take on Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Philadelphia coming alive for a man who's been looking inward as of late, who's been looking at a box as of late.
The following contest is a mixed tag team match set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, the team of Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford.
You know, when I look at that couple, I think of, you know what, that's a power couple. They're both extremely good looking. They're both tremendous competitors. But I gotta ask myself, why in the hell would Kip Sabian ever put a box on? If I look like that, you'd never see me even wear a hat.
Preach, preach.
Their opponents already in the ring, the team of Gia Scott and LSG.
LSG.
2 Ring of Honor mainstays in an AEW ring. Fun to see folks that I know from my Ring of Honor days, Paul.
You know, it's funny. Since I've been here in AEW, I've had a chance to see Kip Sabian. I know he had some injury problems in the past, but I'm telling you, that kid has really put some work in the gym, and he's looking tremendous right now. I don't think I've ever seen him with this kind of size and power that he's holding on to right now. With his wrestling style, I'm really excited to see how he applies it going forward, because he's a very smart competitor.
Absolutely, coming off a huge win last week at Grand Slam, Dark Elevation. He and Penelope defeated Sean, Dean, and Skye Blue in what was a great match. Nice drop down there from LSG. LSG known as the Human Rocket, but caught.
That's that smart wrestling that Kip Sabian does. Like, he read that, saw that, turned the tables.
LSG very quick.
Very quick.
Ooh, nobody home though.
Man, see, that's what Kip Sabian does really well. He uses that athleticism and that brain. I'd love to see competitors as LSG with a roll-through clothesline. That's athletic ability right there. You can't coach that. That's talent.
Ooh! But what do you do? What are you doing to get outwitted like that, Paul?
You don't get outwitted. You punch him in the face, then ask him what he said.
There you go.
You don't fall for that. Come on. You know how many times that's been tried to be done to me?
Ooh, and a tag made in the corner. Penelope. Now this means Gia has to come in, but it's Penelope. Wow!
Wow, that was snug. She put all her body weight right in LSG's sternum and put her foot right in his face.
Now, if I understood the rules of this match, it's supposed to be male versus male, female versus female.
Yeah, but it's 2022. Anything goes, man. Come on, get with the times, you dinosaur. See what I did there? Called you a dinosaur.
And look at the way he's like a maestro.
He is a maestro, but he is one ego-driven individual. He loves the crowd. Good or bad, whether they boom or cheer him, he loves it.
Looking for a back suplex. Maybe it's LSG getting out of it. Ducking the clothesline, rolls through, makes the tag to Gia Scott.
A little bit too much showboating. There's a gentleman in Kip Sabian.
And Gia Scott,
Gia Scott's nice, powerful, those big forearm strikes on Penelope. Penelope's a little nuts, though. She kind of likes that kind of roughness, you know? I've seen her compete with some really risky table matches and stuff and get busted open. She's still rolling. Takes a different mindset.
Standing switch, wheelbarrow here from Penelope. Penelope, oh, gets her into the ropes there.
Nice roll through. And she knew she didn't have enough room to roll all the way through, so then ring awareness, use the ring. Cover.
2 count there, and that's the adjustments. Penelope of a year ago, 2 years ago,
wouldn't have known to done that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But that's where she's grown and improving. Even her time away from Kip, where she still competed, she learned and grew. She's a much more effective teammate now. They should do really well in this doubles competition.
And the handspring out of the way. Gia Scott with an opportunity to make a tag here.
That's a little bit rough on the stomach, that turnbuckle.
Oh!
Look at that athleticism. Kip Saban just slid over there and can't tag out. Got to stay in, Gia.
Back elbow, Gia caught in the wrong. Ooh,
there's that matrix move.
Got her, super back cutter.
Boy, she stretched out for that one. She planed out like she had airline miles.
And look at this, grapevining the legs. Stepping over, stepping through. Leg is trapped into a Muda lock here.
Wow.
Wrenching it in. And Mike Posey says that's it.
The winners of this match by submission, the team of Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian.
I was really impressed by Penelope Ford.
And this duo now, 2-0 the last 2 weeks. Paul, we know AAA has the mixed tag team championships that Sammy and Ty have. Do you think they're eyeing those at this point?
Oh, absolutely. The way they're working together right now, they are literally firing all cylinders as a team. It was really smart how Kip knocked the other opponent off the apron, so then Penelope had the advantage, was able to follow through and execute dominance.
Coming up next year on Dark Elevation, Dante Martin and Tony Deppen team up to take on the Lucha Bros. Tag team action on the way here on Dark Elevation. Let's take it to Dasha.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first the team of Tony Deppen and Dante Martin.
You know, Ian, when I look at Dante Martin, I think of a song from my era, "This Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades." There is no hole in this young man's game. He is so impressive to watch, such an incredible talent. And his head is put on right, too. He's a good kid. I like him. By kid, I mean young adult. He's awesome.
On the flip side, screw a little loose for Tony Deppen. Might make a good yin and yang here as a tag team.
And their opponents, accompanied to the ring by Alex Abrahantes. They are 2/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions, Penta, El Cero Miedo, and Rey Fenix, the Lucha Brothers.
There's our other Spanish broadcast partner out there, Alex Abrahantes, because I always say his name wrong. It drives me nuts. I just don't have the mouth to say it right.
Dasha, it was so beautiful when Dasha said it.
It's so beautiful when she does it. When I say it, I sound like a drowned redneck alligator.
The Lucha Brothers, one of the top teams in the world, former AEW World Tag Team Champions, but perhaps more importantly, 2/3 of the Trios Champions here in AEW.
Look, these guys, these guys are probably one of the best tag teams I've ever seen in wrestling. Their athletic ability, their innovation, and the way they work together as brothers, they're so impressive to watch. They cover all the bases.
And the connection they have with the people here, it doesn't matter if it's Philadelphia, Albany, New York, wherever we are.
Well, if you're into wrestling and you're a wrestling fan, if the Lucha Brothers aren't one of your favorite tag teams, there's something wrong with the way you watch wrestling. These guys are absolutely, highlighters and high flyers. They're amazing to watch compete. And they're in the ring with Dante Martin, so I can't imagine when Rey Fenix and Dante Martin start to get going. That's worth the price of admission alone.
And we're going to start things off with those two men. We talked about AEW's return to Washington, D.C., and this Friday night from Washington, D.C., Rampage will be live at 10 9 Central on TNT, immediately followed by Battle of the Belts 4 at 11:10 Central, Paul.
Battle of the Belts?
Yeah.
That's my everyday struggle, but mine's the Battle of the Belt.
That's what we see. You're cracking me up.
I'm trying to be funny, kid. I'm trying to be funny. Funny makes ratings.
There you go. Do they have those on YouTube?
I don't know, but I'm hoping for it.
We're going to find out.
I just hate, I have to watch it like 300,000 times, so. I only do that when I'm on. I don't do it when you're on.
Well, that's understandable. CSI headline
Old
here.
school kid. Now look at his smart. As high flying as Dante Martin normally is, he has respect for Ray Phoenix enough to try to ground him. Ray Phoenix says, "Nuh-uh, kid, not today."
Ray Phoenix sends Martin off looking for the hip toss, but Martin smart looking for the backslide here. Aubrey, 2. Great referees here. Another stacks him up, 2. And it's Martin with a 2 count there. And they're looking for the pin early here.
Yeah, these two are definitely going to make Aubrey earn her money tonight. That's
wow! Whoa!
I don't even know what that was. That was so amazing.
Do they have a cheat code to go that fast?
I don't know. I hit AABB backspace and it doesn't work for me.
And tag made, Phoenix to Penta. And now we're seeing Tony Deppen in for the first time. Tony Deppen's from Shamokin, Pennsylvania, Paul.
Shamokin, Pennsylvania, that's a real place.
That's a real place.
Awesome.
You got to be cut from a different cloth to even get
He looks tougher than a bag of hammers.
Yeah. And you got to have a screw loose to get in there with Penta.
Penta's all local in the cabeza. He's crazy.
But that's not going to phase Tony. He might not win every match or win every fight, but he's never going to back down from anything.
No. Here it comes. Here's the presentation. This is almost like the guy that puts a salt on his elbow before his elbow sweat ends up on your steak. And he saw it coming.
Oh.
There's a sign of disrespect. Well, that's a way to make a mark.
And Deppen up and over. Recently has returned from Europe. On tour there, of course, the Lucha brothers all over the world also.
Wow, that side kick was right in there. And if you don't get it now, you're definitely going to get it later.
And Deppen using Penta's body weight against him.
That's just smart wrestling. Anytime you get a leverage advantage, take care of it. Notice how he grounded Penta first to make that drop kick to the face more successful. It's pretty smart. Tony's impressing me so far.
Oh, and Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, they're brothers. They think alike. Wow.
And the Lucha Bros isolating Dante Martin. Wow.
Wow, poor Dante Martin showed up for a bad day at work on that one.
And if they're going to do that to the illegal man, what are they going to do to the legal man, Tony Deppen? Oh, goodness.
I don't think they care. They're just looking for bodies.
And Deppen with the open hands.
Big knife chops, open hand chops. It's a good assault. You got to make it count.
Ooh, thrust kick to the midsection. Penta.
Do you see the speed which Ray Phoenix threw that back kick? That'll put your liver in your back pocket.
I haven't even thought that fast, yet alone ever moved that fast.
Me either, Ian. Me either.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Well.
Cover, 2. I brought up the old Rex and Effects song, Rump Shaker, as Deppen's.
Rump Shakers, yeah, or like, I'm just going to be quiet before I get in trouble and get fined. Yeah, that one you're going to feel a couple of days later. Hey, that's my thing, the shush and the chop. I need to talk to them about copyright infringements. That's mine. I shush and chop.
Tag mate. I wouldn't mess with you, Paul.
Well, I like the Lucha Brothers. It's cool.
Wow. And another. I'll tell you what, though.
I'm going to look at it as like Penta's paying homage because he knows I'm sitting up here. Or he doesn't give a crap and doesn't care. One of the two.
Whoa!
Big high knee!
Indeed. Swing and a miss. Deppen.
Another high knee. Wow!
He kept his cool. He's in this match here.
He's got to get it together, though. He's got to get a tag right now. He's finally got the Lucha Brothers in trouble. Needs to get that tag. Dante Martin.
Wow!
Big high flying cross body.
Down and under. Dante to the outside, luring Penta in. And it's Martin. Whoa!
Wow, that's like some kind of special effect doing that much dodging.
And Martin! Wow! Springboard side headlock takeover.
That's pretty impressive.
New twist on an old favorite as, whoa! Cannonball to the outside. And definitely some danger there.
Those high-risk maneuvers, high reward, hopefully. Good power by Dante Martin.
Shooting the half, hooks the leg, 2, whoa! And that would have been an upset.
Been a great, great loop in Dante's career right there, notching his belt to pull one over on Ray Phoenix. And that would have been great, great for him.
We don't normally see Deppen and Martin team, and they're doing quite well so far. Uh-oh. Whoa!
Wow, that would have blown my knee out.
The involuntary movement created there as Penta.
Well, if you can make gravity and physics work for you, why not? Lucha brothers probably have master's degree in physics, if not doctorates.
Oh my goodness!
That was a drive-by clubbing.
Penta catches Deppen's leg. Thrust kick. Oh, we've seen this before.
I just love how well the Lucha brothers work together. They've been together so long, they don't need a playbook.
Oh, planting him down. Cover, 2, got him.
The winners of this match, 2/3 of the AEW World Trios Champions, the Lucha Brothers.
The fear factor, the double stomp, that great combination.
You saw a lot of great things tonight, a lot of great counters and whatnot, but what finally sold the deal was who spent the most time together, and that's the Lucha Brothers with Penta and Ray Phoenix. You can't quantify that amount of time you spend together. You know, they're thinking faster, they're operating faster, and they're successful.
What a victory. Great effort from Martin and Deppen, but your winners, Ray Phoenix, Penta, the Lucha Brothers. Our main event is up next. The Factory takes on best friends Rocky Romero and Danhausen. That's our main event, and it's up now.
Your Elevation main event is an 8-man tag team match set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, the team of Aaron Solo, Cole Carter, Nick Camarado, QT Marshall, the Factory.
I will never be afraid of a guy named QT Marshall. This won't happen.
Well, QT making a name for himself right now in AEW.
Yeah, but is it
Japan.
a good name?
No, that's
is
a great
it a good
point.
name?
No.
Here's a guy that had a lot of respect, that worked very hard, that helped a lot of younger athletes, and then he literally flipped his wig and is turned into this complete jerk.
Turned his back. How do you turn your back on Dustin Rhodes is what I want to know. How do you turn your name to your back on DDP?
I don't know.
And their opponents, the team of best friends, Rocky Romero and Danhausen.
Well, with every group of friends, there's that one that doesn't quite fit.
True.
And
there's Danhausen.
Well, I was thinking Rocky, but
well, here's the thing about Rocky's a tremendous talent. Japan, we know he's been a veteran. He's a great asset. Dan, you want in your corner because you don't want him to curse you.
Oh.
And you know wrestling's very superstitious.
Absolutely. I've worn the same socks now on Dark Elevation for the last 3 weeks, Paul.
Don't need to know that, Ian.
You see Chuck Taylor, Rocky Romero, Danhausen, the man in the face paint, and there's Trent Beretta with the shades.
Yeah, Trent looks too cool for school, man. He's always been cool anyway. I've known Trent a long time, and he's always been the epitome of cool. The dude never gets rattled.
The only man that I know that's gotten all 999 moons in Super Mario Odyssey, the latest Mario game.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Beat it front to back, Danhausen. There you see there.
Danhausen.
There you see Danhausen's going to start things off with Aaron Solo.
See, that's the thing about Aaron Solo. Aaron Solo is a nice young man, and he has really turned to the dark side of the force hanging around QT.
It really does disturb me. I've known Aaron for almost 7 years now.
He's such a great guy, and just hanging around QT, he's just turned into a POS.
And Danhausen, wow, look at that. Hurricane Rana takes Aaron Solo over. Wrist lock here. But it's Solo's a little bit stronger, making the tag to QT Marshall. I'm surprised he's in so early here.
Me too. I'm surprised he's even doing anything. Usually he's got his ass parked up in a chair somewhere counting money.
That's that old Larry Sharp philosophy, getting that cut of the, as a Monster Factory guy, QT. Oh, look at that.
And how's a better finger? Yeah, don't point a finger at me, I'll bite it. Yeah.
Oh, come on. He's trying to curse the fans here.
Well, he might curse our viewership.
Kick to the midsection here. As Danhausen going to work on it. Yeah, get him, Dan. Oh, I can't get on.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, get him, Dan. Look at that. The bridge getting even more leverage.
Nobody in AEW likes QT Marshall. Nobody does.
On a tag made to Rocky Romero. He talked about his accolades, his accomplishments. One of the original members of the U.S. New Japan Dojo. Trained with Samoa Joe, trained with Ricky Reyes, and he's been an international star for the greater part of 20 years. Came into wrestling at 14 years old, Paul.
Who's that?
Rocky Romero.
Oh, yeah, he's part of Roppongi Vice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great pin here.
I didn't know about the Samoa Joe stuff, though. That threw me off. That's cool.
Brian Danielson as well. As Rocky into the ropes. Ooh, back elbow.
That was smart on Rocky's part.
Ooh.
He shouldn't have hung around that corner, though, when you got a monster like Nick Camarado on the corner. Nick shaved that big beard off. I think he was getting animal control complaints for a while. So he's less like a Yeti now and more like a mad monster.
And Cole Carter in. Big drop kick here on Rocky.
Great drop kick by Cole Carter. Here's good-looking, young, athletic.
Two.
Real high drop kick. He was 6.5 feet in the air, playing down on that drop kick. That's a heck of a vertical.
And how does a nice young man like him end up with QT Marshall? That's what I want to know.
Got led astray. Led astray.
Or a nice South Jersey boy like.
I mean, how many boxers wound up with a manager like Don King? I mean, come on. You got to, at some point, you take the risk and say, maybe I won't get corrupted, but I'll get the opportunity. You know, but you know, you sleep with enough dogs, you get fleas. That's why Nick shaved his beard.
Oh, and
I need to be out of the building before he finds me.
A devastating shot by QT, just despicable. Behind the referee's back, Aaron Solo in now with Camarado.
Yeah, poor Paul Turner. He'd get lost in a one-door outhouse.
Rocky in trouble here. And
he is in trouble. He needs to make a tag, but Aaron Solo is smart enough to cut that ring off, keep Rocky in trouble.
And it's been a beautiful strategy here, Paul. You got to admit, the factory's...
Like QT or not, he is smart. I give him credit. He's used all the years of experience. He knows to cut the ring off. He knows to isolate an opponent in his corner. Just right there, that rib shot on Rocky, yeah, it's kind of a dirty move, but what does it do? It keeps Rocky from getting a breath. It makes it harder to recover.
Ooh!
Well-executed standing suplex by QT Marshall.
Oh.
And just for no... And ha-ha!
Yeah.
Showboat, miss an elbow.
Comes back to bite him. Tries to get an edge in the mental game, and now it's Rocky looking to make a tag with QT.
QT's smart enough to try to cut that tag opportunity off. He's paying for it with his chin. Right away drives Rocky back in his corner. That's smart tag team.
Absolutely. They've had Rocky trapped for the better part of 2-3 minutes now.
Yeah, Rocky's needs to get a tag out of there. He's in deep trouble. Right now they're tagging in and out, putting a fresh guy in every time. These big whips into the turnbuckles, they're wearing Rocky down. Rocky's got enough experience, though, to save the energy and try to pick some opportunities to fight back.
Oh, Shurnoi! And normally that would be a move he finishes things off with, but he needs to make a tag.
He knows he needs to get out. That's smart. Sometimes you got to know discretion, part of valor, that whole saying. And Aaron Solo knew to cut off the tag opportunity.
Oh, hip toss. And Rocky rolling through, makes the tag to Chuck Taylor.
The Kentucky gentleman, here he comes. A literal ball of fire. Love Chuck Taylor.
Kick to the midsection. Solo, though, with the Irish whip into the corner.
Solo's a talented athlete.
Chuck Taylor, longtime resident of Philadelphia, huge Sixer fan, making the tag to Beretta.
There you go. I didn't know there were still any Sixer fans left.
Ooh, look at that great combination tag made. Be careful, I'm a season ticket holder. Wow.
You're a season ticket holder?
Yes, sir.
Wow, I take that back. I'm sorry. Go Sixers.
As Camarado planting Beretta.
There's that power in Nick. He just does things without even thinking about it. Really is.
But the experience edge for Beretta, planting down Camarado.
When I look at QT Marshall and Nick Camarano's relationship, I think of the novel of Mice and Men.
So you're saying he might be taking advantage of poor Nick?
I think so. I really do.
Tag made and the agility. You can't take away the athleticism, the success. I think that's what drives me and a lot of other people wild, the success of QT Marshall.
No, it's not the success that QT Marshall has had. I mean, we want people to have success. Ooh. It's just his smug-ass attitude with what success he's managed to attain by kissing ass, mostly.
And look at this. Perched up QT, the victim of strong zero. QT goes down, and the basement knee.
That's that Roppongi Vice. Those guys have worked together a lot.
Oh, and this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part, Paul. Yeah! And Rocky. Do another one. Do another one. Get QT. There we go.
You got to give the people what they want, Ian. Come on.
This is a customer service industry, and Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor takes out the whole pile.
The most efficient move of the match thus far. Oh, look at that. Trent has him up, Rocky. Oh, then they're looking to finish him off.
They know the golden rule, protect QT Marshall at all costs.
Ducks the clothesline, Carter spinning out, connects on the knee. Oh, come on, the diamond cutter. No, come on, two. Whoa, Rocky breaking it up.
Good save by Rocky. I was about to say, that's a shame that great finishing maneuver by DDP got gifted to QT, but it is effective.
Aaron Solo in now. Looking to win things for the factory. Setting up what looks like maybe a pile driver here, double underhook situation. And Danhausen. Oh! He just cursed Solo. Wow! Cover! Trapped! Got him!
The winners of this match, the team of best friends, Rocky Romero and Danhausen.
Well, Ian, that was awesome, man. I tell you what, thank you for doing this with me. I'm glad to be back on Elevation. Honor and a pleasure to work with you. I look forward to doing it much more in the future.
Thank you so much, Paul. The pleasure's mine. And check out more AEW where it all began in Washington, D.C. this Wednesday, TBS 8 p.m.
AEW is my house.
Wednesday on TBS. Celebrate the 3-year anniversary with an extended Dynamite. Featuring Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal.
Daddy had to put you on timeout, didn't he?
MJF returns to the ring to face Wheeler Yuta.
You want to know what I think would be real entertaining?
And Daniel Garcia joins Bryan Danielson to take on teammates Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho.
I'm going to have to take you out.
AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, live at 8 on TBS.